Pray with me, please. Dear God, we gather here as many members of this community, but we all come from different places and with different things weighing on us or things to celebrate. We ask that you would provide the grace that only you can to each of us individually and us collectively, that we might embrace all those in our community, the students and families and education leaders that we honor this morning, and all of those who aren't here and maybe somewhere else and just need your touch. We ask that you would provide that to all of them here and indeed around the world as things don't seem right and we feel so small and don't know what to do. Help us to find our way and the call you put on us to reach out and help one another. Bless this time this morning and the food that we've enjoyed, and lead us through a safe and honoring weekend for you. It's in your Son's name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Join in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, so I know we've got several guests this morning with our students, and we'll recognize them in just a minute. Any other club guests this morning? Yes, sir.
I'd like to recognize Jan Stell. She is a longtime member of Lake Highlands. Of course, her son Sam went to Lake Highlands. He's now like 34, so they're really old. But anyway, she is running for school board. So you might want to stay afterward and ask her questions. Yeah, she's going on the school board. But I do know her. She's all about academics. Is what she cares about. Get rid of the noise. So let's focus on academics. Carol told me once, I'll just throw it out there, that the two of the people running against her, Jan's the most conservative. So take it to that. Welcome, Jan.
Thank you, sir. Welcome, Jan. Any other guests this morning? Yes, sir. Oh, yes, Tracy.
Hey everybody, I'm Tracy Ruckle with a company called Community Impact Newspaper. We're launching a newspaper here in Lake Highlands next month. We're a hyper-local newspaper with reporters that attend our city council meeting and school board meeting, and report a lot of stuff on, like I said, hyper-local, a lot of reporting on the school district and local city government, healthcare, stuff like that. We don't do politics or anything like that, so no need to be afraid of that. But anyway, we're very happy to open up in this great neighborhood, and you'll be seeing a lot of this. Thanks.
Welcome, Tracy. Any other guests this morning? Yes, ma'am.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rachel now, and I'm running for District 5 as well. I'm a native Lake Highlands kiddo, born and raised here. Attended Salt Road, Forest Meadow, Lake Highlands High School, graduated here. My husband graduated from Lake Highlands as well. My daughter graduated from Lake Highlands. She played volleyball there for 3 years at Southeast North University. Graduates next year, so I do recognize some familiar faces from back when she went to school in Lake Highlands. So our son goes to Lake Highlands next year. So we're happy to be here. Thank you for having us.
Thank you, Rachel. Any other guests this morning? All right, so quick, just glance at the calendar here, just from a club perspective. Next week, we will have our quarterly police and fire, which will be next Friday morning. We'll be back here at 7. The following week is spring break, so no meeting. So please don't come here on the 18th or the 17th. That would be our third Thursday. So community grants, our community grant application closes today. So if you have any last minute organizations that would like to submit a request, today is our deadline for community grants. And then let's see, Mr. Joe Priest. Joe, we got an event coming up in May that Joe would like to speak on.
Thanks for that ovation, I appreciate that. All right, good morning, everybody. Just wanted to plug the date again for the spring auction and benefit concert. It is May 21st. If you do not have that already on your calendar, please make sure that you do. It's going to be an awesome event. more details to follow, and just get ready to have an amazing time. We're going to do something in person, no more of this virtual stuff. So get ready, more information to follow. If there's any club members that want to get involved in the committee, please reach out. Let me know. We're always looking for additional hands. And then also, if you know of any companies or donations that are wanting to come our way, any sponsorship potential ideas, whether it's your company or others in the community, please reach out, let us know. That's the biggest push for right now. Thank you so much.
Sir. Yeah, so just to reiterate Joe's point, the committee has been hard at work already, collecting silent auction, live auction items, as well as sponsorships. So obviously without the support of this club, we cannot do all we want to do. So please think about that as well. Should be a great event. Any other announcements that I've missed this morning? Speaking of a couple of school board candidates here, April 8th, which is a Friday, April 8th is our official candidate forum. So we'll have all 3 candidates here for questions and answers. So if you'd like to come to an event where all 3 will be here, circle April 8th on your calendar, 7 a.m. here as well. So that is kind of a glance at our calendar coming up. So, seeing no more announcements, I will turn it over to Jimmy for our program this morning.
Kevin's first. Thank you everybody for being here. We appreciate it. This is one of our bigger events that we do throughout the month, and we always love seeing everybody come out for it. We'll get right into it today with our Character Council Awards. While I read about the award, Bernice Tucker, will you please come up and join me? The Character Council Awards are given to students nominated by the faculty and staff at Lake Highlands High School. This award recognizes young men and women at the high school, as well as their parents and mentoring teachers who display strong character traits as a vital part of their daily routine. These are students who are peer role models, positively participate in school or community service and extracurricular activities, serve as student leaders, and are reliable and trustworthy. First, I'll ask you to introduce first of all, we'll see if 2 mics works. Hold it up top. All right, and introduce your guest.
Okay, I have here with me is my mom and my brother Peyton and my sister Sine.
So Anicia joined us here in Lake Highlands 2 years ago from Waxahachie, Texas. So we're glad to have her up here. Anicia, what would you say your biggest strength is?
My biggest strength is, I would say, overcoming big obstacles that just come my way, and just try to be positive about it, and just push through and just keep trying to do my best, even when I can't even see the end. Just continue.
Perseverance, I like it. When I like this answer. What do you like to do when you're not at work? I'm sorry, when you're not at school or studying?
I actually do like to work to earn money, and I am in track. Yes, sorry.
What do you do for work?
I used to work at Andy's Frozen Custard, and I really like that job.
Wow. It's a celebrity.
No, I left my job to focus on track because this is my last year. So
What do you run?
I run the 4x1, the 4x2, and the open 200.
Nice.
She's faster than all of them. How fast do you run the 200?
25 seconds.
All right, favorite electronic device and why?
I would say my TV. I don't really use my phone as much. So I like to watch a lot of TV shows. So I would say TV.
This is the resurgence of TV. So we did this a couple weeks ago for January students, and that was our first TV answer we ever had. This is the second, so we like it TV. All right, so next year, where do you plan to go to college?
I plan on going to Texas Women's University to study nursing.
All right, and why are you going to study nursing?
Because my grandma, she was a CNA, and then eventually she was a home health aide. So I wanted to go into that career path just to follow in her footsteps.
Now, we went over this the other day, but you are not a big user of the social medias, but if forced to, which one are you going to use?
Instagram, just to like check in on what other people are doing. I don't really like post a lot, so I just like to see what people are doing.
So right after this, you're going to get in a car, you're going to go to DFW Airport. Where are you going on vacation?
California. I've always wanted to go to California for some reason.
Any particular part?
No. Just want to see palm trees.
Fair enough. All right. What age do you consider old? That's a lame one.
45. But only because I feel like 45-year-olds have the most experience in life.
Nice save.
All right, if you could meet anyone past or present, who would it be and why?
Oh, Florence Jordan, because she was a big inspiration in the track industry, I guess. Yes, so she inspired me to go into track, and I've just always wanted to meet her. She was just best.
So, what's the best advice you've received?
The best advice was when I was in Waxahachie and the basketball coach told me either to be a lion or a gazelle, to either chase my dreams or just run away from them and let them chase me. So I've always kept that in the back of my head. I try to just keep that to motivate me throughout the day, and I just keep pushing with that advice that she gave to me.
All right, if you go back and taught yourself as a freshman, what would you tell yourself? That's what's simple. And swine.
Oh, I would say to not to listen what other people say about high school because it is not as easy as everyone told me. Especially senior year, it was like, oh, it's just a breeze. It's not. It's not a breeze. So I would say just keep focusing on the end goal and not to mess around freshman year because that's when it starts.
And then, after graduation, looking forward, what are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to making new connections, meeting new people, exploring the world, and just trying to live my life to the fullest and not let people hold me back.
All right. And now we'll have some notes from the school. And then one last time, when you get over, you please introduce yourself to the class.
Okay. Renesia has been such a stellar student in both economics and government this year. She is always willing to help her friends with understanding content. She completes everything with 110% of her efforts, and she genuinely cares about learning. I know she had a special sparkle, and I am so happy to see her as a Character Counts winner. I feel like I'm the lucky one because she was placed in my class. Thank you, Renesia, for being so wonderful, for you are most deserving. Much love, and that's from Mrs. Holding. She is an awesome student and fantastic person, very respectful, easygoing, polite to all, and willing to help. She is doing great in class and always willing to help others who might be struggling. She is kind and patient. I'm enjoying having her as part of my physics class this year, and that's from her teacher, Brooke McGowan. Renicia is one of my statistics students this year. She is faithful to come to class and has a great attitude. I've watched her blossom as the year goes on. I'm proud to have played a part in her education. That's from Mrs. Scroder. Renicia was an amazing student that always seemed to have a positive attitude and fantastic work ethic. Last year was an eventful year for her, and she always pushed through with grace and determination. That's from Mr. Riedlinger. When I look at Renicia, I see the epitome of excellence. I've had the pleasure of coaching Renicia for 2 years in track. She is a phenomenal athlete on the track and in the classroom. Her leadership on our team is amazing. She helps other athletes when they need it, and she shows all of her teammates what it looks like to excel. Renicia is also very resilient. Even in times of adversity, she stays focused and never gives up. She is one of the kindest girls I've ever met. I absolutely love her. She is more than deserving of this award. Congratulations, Renicia, and that comes from Coach Miller. And finally, dedicated, caring, intelligent, will be a highly prized nurse, and that's from Ms. Walker, her health science teacher. Renicia.
They all know just under 2 years at the high school. Renicia Tucker, everybody. All right, we'll move on to our next character counts honoree of the month, and that's going to be Mr. Gabriel Scott. Gabriel, if you come up there and join me on stage. Gabriel's lived in Lake Highlands his entire life. Well, kind of, since he was about 2 years old, right? You want a mic? The top roast gets pretty loud. It's very scary. I went to Moss Haven Elementary and Forest Meadow Junior High. What would you say your greatest strength is?
I'd say my greatest strength is like being able to handle a lot of work and a lot of responsibility. I just think throughout my high school years, I've kind of taken hard classwork, done a lot of leadership positions, and so as a result, I've kind of built up being able to tolerate that amount of stuff.
You think it's just all about time management?
Yeah, part of it's time management, but also just kind of being able to keep your head in the game and not get overwhelmed.
All right, when you're not at school or studying, what do you like to do?
I like to practice oboe. Yeah, and I watch a lot of racing.
What kind of racing?
Sports. Mainly Formula One and IndyCar.
So how did you get into F1?
Honestly, I just kind of, I was one day I was just kind of scrolling through Instagram and just kind of found out about it. And just
So
kind
it
of
wasn't
started
trying to
watching
survive? I was wondering.
yeah.
Okay. All right, brothers and sisters.
Yeah, I have one brother, Joshua, he's over there.
Which also means I forgot to have you introduce your guests.
I have my brother Josh, my dad, and my mom. And then I also have my band director, Mr. Bromley, and one of my teachers, Mrs. Ramirez, out to support me and a couple other recipients.
Where do you plan to go to school next year?
So right now I'm not entirely sure. I'm still looking at my options, but I do want to go to a good STEM school because I would like to be an engineer.
Have you decided your major? We already went over that. So you want to be an engineer, so tell us what kind of engineer.
I'm thinking mechanical engineering.
Okay. You going to build cars?
Yeah, that's the goal.
All right, what is your favorite club or sport and why?
So my favorite club is band. I just love the community and just the life lessons and experience that it gives you.
All right, so Same question, you're getting in a car to go to DFW right after this. Where are you going anywhere in the world?
I'm headed to the Philippines. It's where my mom was born. I'm half Filipino. I have a lot of family there, and it's a really beautiful country.
Social media app of choice.
Instagram.
Because you found F1 on Instagram?
Well, no. No, it's just so I, see how my friends are doing, and yeah, also like kind of look, explore my interests and stuff. So yeah, like F1.
What age do you consider as old?
Honestly, I'd say probably about like retirement.
What is retirement?
Like 60.
Fair enough. If you could meet anyone in the world, past or present, who would it be and why?
I'd meet Michael Schumacher. He's a Formula 1 driver, but more than his story about like racing and stuff, he's also an amazing leader. So I take a lot of inspiration from that.
All right, we know that if you could have any job in the world, it would be to build race cars, right? What team do you want to race for or build for?
I don't really know.
All right, what's the best advice you've received and why?
So the best advice I've ever received is actually a quote that my band director shared one time during a leadership camp. And it goes something like this. It's like, strive to be perfect, knowing that you will catch excellence on the way. And I think that's a really good quote because like the difference between being perfectionist and having like this, mentality is that like you're always trying to improve, but you're not like disappointing yourself when there's like a little thing wrong. So that's kind of really helped me in life because I'm doing things like I'm always looking for things to improve, and like I'm satisfied with my work, but at the same time I'm not complacent.
All right, if you go back and taught yourself as a freshman, what would you say to yourself?
I just say like be careful about overworking yourself. I think like sometimes I was doing like too much for me to really be able to like handle everything. Like I talked about like my big strengths being able to like take a lot of work and stuff, but even then like sometimes I would get overwhelmed. So I would say like just like really like have fun like in high school, but also set yourself up for a good future, and but without making it too much.
All right, in your next chapter after graduation, what are you most looking forward to?
I'm most looking forward to college, and I'm looking at a lot of out-of-state options right now, to be honest. So I'm excited to potentially travel to a new place.
All right, and now we'll have some notes from the high school.
All right, I didn't introduce myself before. I'm Mr. Shamsuddin, pitch hitting for Miss Carrie Jones. I'm assistant principal at Lake Highlands High School. I'm excited to be here and really appreciate all you guys do to support our school and our students. Okay, Gabriel Scott. Gabriel is the definition of focus. He sets his mind to something and pours all his energy into accomplishing the task without hesitation. There is no doubt in my mind that he will one day be a factor in the great changes that will one day come to our world. There is no one more deserving of this award, and that's from Mr. Hurtado. Gabriel has been an active member of the Lake Highlands High School Junior World Affairs Council for the past 2 years. I have always been impressed by Gabriel's intelligence, communication, and knowledge of current events. I admire his ability to balance advanced academics, Junior World Affairs Council, and his leadership of the Lake Highlands High School Band. Congratulations on this well-deserved award, Gabriel. That comes from Ms. Ramirez. Gabriel is a complete package. I have observed him as a student in English class and as a member of the Junior World Affairs Council of Lake Highlands High School. He is intelligent, respectful, helpful, caring, trustworthy, responsible, and fair. He is grounded in integrity and operates with a high moral compass. As student and JWAC member, Gabriel demonstrates servant leadership and global awareness, and that comes from Ms. Vieira Williams. Gabriel Scott is a young man of character. He is always focused and ready to contribute in class and always willing to help others. Gabriel is a student with exceptional moral qualities that comes from Mr. Moore. I had the pleasure of having Gabriel Scott in my dual credit business information management class last year. He was an ideal student who excelled academically and often finished his assignments ahead of time. His character shined in our classroom by always managing his time appropriately and helping his fellow students when it was appropriate. And that's from Mr. Barrios. Gabriel is a student that does the right thing all the time, even if no one is watching. We appreciate him as a role model and a huge contributor to our band program. He is an intelligent young man who does a great job staying on top of his responsibilities and working to be the best human he can be each day. And that's from Ms. Pittman.
Congratulations, obviously well-deserved. Everybody, Gabriel Scott. All right, and now we'll move on to our Youth of the Month portion of the program. As I read about the award, I will invite Elizabeth McNamara to join us. The Youth of the Month award recognizes Lake Highlands graduating seniors along with their parents and mentoring teachers who have excelled in academics, leadership, school, and community service. These are students often in the top 20% of their class, much higher, and who participate in student government, school publications, music, theater, athletics, or other school-sponsored activities. These students also have typically received special recognition or awards by other educational, community, state, or national organizations for demonstrating excellence in academics, leadership, participation, and community service. Elizabeth has lived in Lake Highlands her entire life. However, she didn't start attending Lake Highlands area schools until junior high, where she went to Lake Highlands Junior High.
Correct.
All right. I read that. All right, which elementary school did you attend?
I attended Halenson Park Elementary School. It's a magnet school.
All right, what is your greatest strength?
I'd say my greatest strength, I'm pretty enthusiastic and driven towards all of my activities, and I think if I have a goal in mind, I'll get there.
All right, outside of school, when you're not studying, what do you like to do?
I like going on outdoor walks. I'll go for 2 to 4 miles at a time. It's crazy. I'll be gone for 2 hours, and then I come back. My mom's like, "Where'd you go?" "Go, I've been going on a walk." I also collect records. I have over 50 now. It's crazy. I also enjoy playing saxophone and bass and guitar.
Yes, ma'am. I have a question about the walks.
Yeah, of course.
Are these walks or are these hikes?
Honestly, it's a fine line. I think they're getting more to hikes.
Okay, so you're off-roading?
Oh, yeah, totally, yeah. I'll go over there, gone. Yes.
Okay. All right, please introduce your guests.
Oh, so I have my mom, and then I have my mom's best friend, who's been a family friend of mine for a long time, Michelle. Then my world history teacher, genetic sponsor, Ms. Ramirez. I have 2 of my closest peers, friends, Charlie and Simone. And then I have Ms. Washman, who's my world lit teacher. She's fantastic. And I have Mr. Brumley, my awesome band director.
Favorite electronic device and why?
Oh, my phone. It has everything on it. Everything I will ever need. On my walks, my podcasts, my music, it's everything.
All right, so next year you plan to go to Texas State, is that right?
Yes.
All right. Have you ever been to Wonder World in San Marcos?
No. I've been to San Marcos twice. Both times to tour the school. I've never been there. Never heard of it.
It's a cave on a 50-million-year-old fault line.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you gotta check it out.
Okay, yeah.
Cool. All right. Have you decided on a major? And if so, what?
Yeah, so I decided on public administration, which is a branch of political science. It's like more with the public sector and government and all finance and all that stuff.
Don't know how your band director is going to feel about your answer to this. What is your favorite club or sport?
Oh, I said band, don't worry.
No. I don't have a favorite club.
Okay, I wasn't sure if you consider band a club because it's I'm there like half the day.
That's a solid answer.
Yeah,
Good bill. All right, you're getting in a car right after this.
right.
This is going to be an Uber. You're going to DFW. Where are you going?
I would go on a tour of Europe. My mom went study abroad in Europe, and I'm very jealous because I get to look at all the pictures. I'm like, well, what am I doing here? Why am I not there right now? I love the architecture and landscape, and I love history, and I think I just learned so much.
Junior year college, it's going to study abroad.
I'll keep it where it's going.
All right. Social media app of choice and why?
Oh, Instagram. I love Instagram. I love the aesthetic, and I love keeping up with my friends, and I think my page looks very nice. I love keeping up with it.
Well curated Instagram page is important. What age do you consider as old?
Oh, see, everyone else said like a number. I just said there's no real age for being old. I think it's kind of a subjective term. Like, you can be 90 and still have your whole life ahead. You can do anything you want. So.
Right on.
Wow.
My last class, my sophomore and junior year in college, used to get out just in time for me to get back to my fraternity house and watch a show. What was that show?
Jeopardy?
That's correct. If you could meet anybody in the world, past or present, who would it be?
Oh, I would love to meet Alex Trebek. His passing. Well, I watch Jeopardy every night with my mom. If we don't miss it, we record it and we watch it again. I've got all my friends hooked on Jeopardy. I love Jeopardy. It's awesome. And Alex Trebek being gone just was a void missing. And when his passing was very, very hard for me because I love Jeopardy so much.
Luckily, there's like 40 years of content.
Right. Yeah.
All right. What is your unrealistic dream job?
Oh, okay. Realistic and unrealistic. My unrealistic one, I'd love to own a record shop. There's this amazing record shop just down the road called Good Records. It's owned by one guy, his name is Chris, and I'm very envious of him.
Best advice you've ever received?
I wasn't sure how to answer this question, so I went to the band hall and I started talking to one of my band directors, Mr. Singleton, and he said, under promise and over deliver. It's like, oh, that's great. I don't think I've ever used that, but I just need someone to answer the question. I know, yeah, I will start right now.
If you go back in time and talk yourself as a freshman, what advice would you give yourself?
I think I'd like stomp on her foot and slap her in the face and tell her to go to geometry tutoring.
There's 10 exclamation points next to geometry tutoring.
Oh yeah, no, there's like 10 next to it. I suffered a lot in geometry, and I think if I were to go to geometry tutoring, I'd be in a lot better position right now.
You don't need it for public administration.
No, yeah, no, I don't need math credit, I'm good.
What are you most looking forward to in the next chapter?
Oh, I'm so excited to go to college. I think San Marcos is a great place for me. So excited to be in the band. They have a radio station, which I'm so excited to possibly get involved in. And my future dorm will have a big window, and I'm really excited because I collect plants as well, so they all thrive in that huge window.
It's pronounced San Marvelous.
San Marcos.
And now let's know the next one.
Elizabeth was a pleasure to have in dual credit English last year. She always had a positive attitude and was great about helping other students in class and providing constructive writing feedback for our essays. She was an excellent writer and always contributed to group discussions. Elizabeth is a great choice for Exchange Club Youth of the Month. That comes from Coach Duffield. Elizabeth is such a hard worker. I love her eagerness to contribute in class discussions, and she seems ready to enjoy all we do in environmental science. Much of our class is based in inquiry-driven questions and forming possible solutions, which is challenging and can feel overwhelming, but Elizabeth always jumps right in and figures it out. I'm going to miss her smiling face in my class next year. I know she will go on to do great things in the future. That's from Ms. Jones, Kimberly Jones. Elizabeth is a member of the Junior World Affairs Council of Lake Highlands High School. She contributes to class discussions on international issues. She competed in the Academic World Quest held February 23rd, 2022. She will be a great global leader that makes the world a better place, a global citizen. That's from Ms. Vieira Williams. Elizabeth's love of life bursts out of her like a shower of confetti. She's a strong thinker and seems to be a great friend. Her positive attitude and willingness to help will propel her a long way in life, and that comes from Ms. Bierman. Elizabeth is outstanding all around. In class, she is passionately curious. In JWAC, she helps guide discussion by welcoming the viewpoints of her classmates and sharing her opinions thoughtfully. She takes advantage of opportunities in JWAC to learn more about the world and participate in community service. She has made many contributions to RASD through the Mayor's Internship Program. She has also been a wonderful leader of our band through her role as a drum major. Elizabeth is humble, caring, and intelligent, and that's from Mrs. Ramirez. Elizabeth is an incredible student who wants to be the best version of herself that she can be. It's special when young adults take ownership of their own education and are intrinsically motivated to excel, not necessarily because the teachers expect it from them, but because they know that they can do, so they do it. Elizabeth is that student, which is evident through the multiple instruments she plays and the extra time she puts into the band program. She was one of the drum majors this past marching season, which was amazing because every single student in band was able to look up to the impeccable standard that Elizabeth displays. Congrats, Elizabeth. That comes from Mr. Smith. Mr. Smith. One of the things that sets Elizabeth apart from the typical high school student is that she is not satisfied with just good enough. She is great at receiving feedback and staying positive while faced with challenges and roadblocks. Aside from her work as a student, Elizabeth is an observant individual who gives insightful feedback in discussions. We are very grateful to have her as a leader in an LHHS band. That comes from Ms. Pittman. Elizabeth, I've only had the privilege of teaching you for 1 year, but I wish I had you as a student years before. You're an absolute delight in every possible way. Plus, you never fail to bring a unique insight and a fresh perspective to all class discussions. And goodness knows you're not afraid to speak your mind, which is something I applaud in you. Keep pursuing your dreams and always be you because you are something wonderful and true. And remember, all highly intelligent people talk to themselves, so you're in good company. That comes from Mrs. Watson.
Elizabeth McNamara, everybody. Our next Youth of the Month recipient is Carson Hiltis.
There it is.
I got it right?
Yes.
All right. First, introduce your guest.
Okay, so I brought my dad, my mom, my 3 younger sisters, Caroline, Katie, and Cora, were all C's. My grandma, and then my band director, Mr. Brumley.
Most favorite pronunciation of your last name that's wrong? Least favorite pronunciation?
I've heard Carson Edis, and I did not like that one. Yeah, I don't know how that happened. And then I've heard probably the most common is Carson Iltis. So, yeah.
All right, how long have you lived in Lake Highlands?
I have lived in Lake Highlands since I was about 4, so I've gone to all Lake Highlands RSD schools. I moved here from Flower Mound, and we lived there for like a couple months, but it's not Lake Highlands.
It's really far away. Greatest strength?
My greatest strength I was drum major this year of the high school band, so I got the opportunity to work with many different kinds of students, and so just the ability to kind of adapt my teaching and leading style to different types of students as they learn differently and process information differently.
What do you do during Mavs games? Like, are you at home or?
So, if I'm not attending the game, I'm working as a Dallas Maverick ball kid. So I'm out there mopping the floors after the players. And when they fall, I'm right there, just cleaning up the floor. So
All right, so when you're not doing that, or you're not in school or studying, what do you enjoy doing?
I play basketball for a local team. I don't play for the school, but I play for SVAA, which most of you probably know. And then I love to write music, so I sit down for hours at a time and will compose stuff for the Lake Highlands band, and then also I love to write for like film and try to, just writing for film is one of my passions, so yeah.
All right, what is your favorite electronic device?
I'd have to say my computer, because it allows me to write music and kind of is a medium of creativity, and it gives me the ability just to sit down and compose, and it's something that I really enjoy to do.
Any idea where you'd like to go to school next year?
My top choice is Baylor. I am going into music education, so thank you to my band director. He's actually an inspiration of mine of why I want to go into music education, so I can inspire the kids the way that he has done for me. And so I'm looking at Baylor, which has a really good music ed program, and then also Texas Tech and Oklahoma University. So.
I think we might know the answer. No, wait. What is your favorite club or sport?
Well, I'm still in the same boat as Elizabeth. I didn't think this was really a club, but band, now that I know that it's definitely up there on the list. And then I also, like I said, play basketball, and that's one of my favorite sports, so yeah.
So if band isn't a club, are we just calling it like passion? Art.
It's a way of life.
Yeah, I'd say art. Wasn't exactly sure. Sorry, Mr. Rumley.
I've asked everybody else if you said you're going to DFW. I don't think that they have a direct flight out of DFW here. So if you vacation anywhere in the world, where would it be and why?
So I know there's like a lot of great places you could go, but I love the small town of Red River, New Mexico, and it's a super small town, and up in the mountains there's skiing and all that type of stuff. So I love the seclusion of the town, and it's a really cool place.
And then social media app of choice.
I'd say Instagram as well. I use it to I use it to keep up with friends, and then also keep up with sports and updates there. And so it's just a good way to keep up with everything that's going on.
Well, you're on your own on this one, buddy. What age do you consider as old?
Well,
I'll read what you wrote if you don't.
Well, my dad is 47 and he's pretty old, so I'd say 46. 46 then.
So it's lower.
What is it? Black and white. That's pretty old. All right, if you could meet anyone in the world, past or present, who would it be and why?
Well, I have two answers to this. My favorite basketball player ever is Dirk Nowitzki. You probably know who that is. He retired a couple years ago. You may have. But yeah, he's a really great leader and a great basketball player, and so I've always wanted to sit down and just talk with him and how cool that would be. And then my second one, as a passionate composer and just writing music, I'd love to sit down with film composer Hans Zimmer, who does a lot of big films, and just talk music with him and get all his wisdom when it comes to writing music. So,
What is your dream job?
dream job, I have two. My realistic one is high school band director, and that's why I'm going into music ed. And then, as I've said, I would love to be a Hollywood film composer and score for movies.
Best advice you've ever received?
So every morning I walk out the door, my dad always tells me, shine your light. And so that's something going out into a dark world. I think being a light to those around me and setting a good example and being a role model is something that I try to live by every day.
Maybe he's just having to wear a flashlight because it's so
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of old. I did write that.
All right, if you go back and talk to yourself as a freshman, what advice would you give yourself?
I would say be more confident. I think my freshman and sophomore year, I didn't really come out of my shell. I just kind of was quiet and didn't say much. And then kind of going through being drum major of the high school band, I kind of learned that I could be a confident leader and be a good role model for others in both teaching as well as just setting a good example.
All right, in the next chapter, what are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to studying music in college. It's so fun to learn about something that you're interested in. And so sometimes in school you're doing math and you're not super passionate about it, but you gotta do it. But in college I'm able to really pursue my love for music and study that, and I'm super excited about it.
All right, and now I'll have some notes for next week.
Okay. Carson exudes a maturity beyond his years. He is a talented musician and an impressive music arranger. He is a fantastic leader, specifically for his ability to connect with his peers and his teachers, and that comes from Mr. Singleton. We are very lucky to have Carson as part of the band program. Not only is Carson highly responsible with his responsibilities, he is also quick to help our younger students and is always willing to help us with anything we need. He has been an integral part of creating and improving the culture of the band program this year. We're going to miss Carson very much next year, but I know that he is going to do great things in the next chapter of his life. That comes from Ms. Pittman. Carson's pleasant manner and willingness to help to serve will serve him well in life. When he is interested in the subject, he'll dig into it with gusto. He is charming. His charming smile never fails to make me smile too. That comes from Ms. Bierman. He's a student that will show up every day ready to learn, have a smile on his face, and engage in real conversation with you. This is the first year for me to teach Carson, but I am blessed to have him in both of my classes, AP Statistics and AP Calculus AB. I get to see him every day. Regardless of how he is doing in class at the time, Carson is respectful, pleasant to be around, and optimistic. He never gives up. He was also one of the best dressed drum majors I've ever seen this past year when rocking those late 80s all white uniforms. Congrats, Carson. And that's from Mr. Lyons.
All we ask, sir, is that you spend this on yourself. Everybody, Carson, mindless, skidless. Thanks everybody for being here today. We appreciate your participation.
Yes, thank you, Jimmy. Great program, always an inspiring one to hear from our students and faculty as well. Thank you all for being here and the support you give these students as well as the parents. So we haven't had a Baylor Bear in a while. Brent and I, another resident Bear, a few of us in the room. Good, best of luck to you and all the students this morning. If you will stay for a photo, come up here, we'll take a photo before we get out of here. Just a reminder, next week, we'll be back here 7 o'clock with our police and fire of the court. Look forward to that one as well. So let's see, Tracy, Jan, Rachel, thank you all for being here this morning. Welcome anytime. And let's see, any other items? With that, have a great Friday. We are adjourned.